You crouched outside the police station, holding your father. Then the richest woman passing by took you home. She thought she had brought home an adorable little decoration, not knowing you could hear plants speak. You helped your wealthy new mother expose a traitor at her company, and healed your younger aunt's crippled leg. When your birth mother learned of your gift, she came to claim you. You did not look back. Belated family affection is worth less than dirt. After your father took his own life, the police called your awful birth mother to take you home. But once she understood what had happened, she hung up. You had relied on your father for everything. Now you were completely alone. Just as you wondered whether to join your father, Mi Cai stopped her car before you. Kid, do you want a mom? Half an hour later, at the Mi family mansion, old Master Mi glared at his disappointing daughters and son-in-law. His anger boiled over. You useless lot. None of you can give me a grandson. What good are you? He spoke while thumping his chest. Just then, Mi Cai walked in from outside. She shoved a sack into old Master Mi's arms. Here, your grandson. Old Master Mi froze. He instinctively untied the sack. A little boy climbed out. He had fair skin and delicate features. His bright, watery eyes melted hearts. You looked at the old man and hesitated. Then you cautiously waved at him. Hello, Grandpa. Still bewildered, old Master Mi brought everyone into his study. Whose child is this? Mi Cai remained perfectly composed. Mine. Old Master Mi spat. Bullshit. With that allergy of yours whenever you touch a man, how could you have such an adorable boy? Mi Cai looked awkward. Dad, that is rude. She explained everything from start to finish. I checked the police station's call. The police called Fu Chen and Mu Yuan. This child's father is Mu Yuan. At that, everyone looked shocked. That incident caused such an uproar. If he really is Mu Yuan's child, the Fu and Lin families probably will not take him. Old Madame Mi spoke slowly. Then why did you bring him home? Mi Cai did not flinch. Fu Chen and Mu Yuan do not want him. I do. Now, Dad has a grandson. What is the problem? Old Madame Mi was about to scold her when old Master Mi slapped his thigh. No problem. Wonderful. My daughter's son is my grandson, is he not? So, what if she found him? We were meant to find each other. Old Madame Mi swallowed the words on her lips. Instead, she looked at Mi Cai with relief and said, Well done. The eldest sister, Mi Yuan, adjusted her glasses and said evenly, Since you brought him home, you must take responsibility for him. Old Master Mi nodded firmly. Exactly. Once he is here, he is my grandson. If anyone dares bully him, I will skin them alive. He swept his gaze around the room. Under his gaze, the mother and her 3 daughters stood meek as quails. Only then did he nod in satisfaction and head downstairs. In the living room, you sat stiffly on the sofa. Though you had just bathed, you still feared dirtying the couch. You only dared sit on the very edge. When Mi Cai and the others came downstairs, you immediately stood, your little hands clenched together, your face tense. The sight broke old Master Mi's heart. He stepped forward and gently hugged you. Sweetheart, do not be afraid. This is your home now. If anyone bullies you, come to Grandpa. He stroked your tiny hands. At your age, a child should be chubby, but you were painfully thin. Old Master Mi asked tenderly, Are you hungry? Is there anything you want to eat? Looking into his eyes, your heart slowly settled. You whispered, Anything is fine. I am not picky. At dinner, you swallowed as you stared at the table full of food. Carefully, you picked up the nearest dish and ate it. Your eyes instantly lit up. Old Master Mi's heart ached. It was only a simple plate of stir-fried greens. What hardships had this child endured? Old Master Mi kept piling food into your bowl. If it tastes good, eat more. It was the tastiest, fullest meal you had ever eaten. You could not stop yourself from burping. You hurriedly covered your mouth. Everyone could not help but smile, feeling their kindness. You broke into a wide smile too. You looked adorably silly. Mi Cai lazily lifted her gaze. She glanced at your ill-fitting pajamas, then remembered your ragged t-shirt. Her temple throbbed hard. She went outside and made a call. Less than half an hour later, major brands arrived with their newest children's clothes. Mi Cai said casually, Pick whatever you want. It was your first time seeing so many new clothes. They all looked incredibly expensive. You looked at Mi Cai uneasily. Mi Cai slightly raised her chin. If you do not like them, I will bring another batch. You hurriedly said, I like them. I do. You do not need to call anyone else. Mi Cai set down her phone. Then choose. You looked around, then pointed to the cheapest looking outfit. Can I have this one? Mi Cai gave it a casual glance. Keep them all. Her tone allowed no argument. And you swallowed your refusal. Your little face crumpled. You could not understand what was happening. At the police station, this lady had said that if you nodded, she would be your mother from then on. You thought she would only give you something to eat. You never imagined this place would be so luxurious, or that there would be so many beautiful clothes. You pinched your cheek hard. The pain made your face scrunch up. It hurts. I am not dreaming. That night, Mi Cai came out for water. She suddenly heard a sound from your room. She stopped. Then she pushed open the door and entered. There you were, clutching Mu Yuan's urn. Your face was soaked with tears. The moment you saw Mi Cai, You scrambled upright. You looked at her nervously. I am sorry, Mom. Did I disturb you? Mi Cai frowned. How is that disturbing me? Mi Cai had seen her nieces cry. Each one wailed with her mouth wide open, loud enough to shake the house. You were nothing like that. Even when you cried, you covered your own mouth. Seeing you like this made Mi Cai's chest feel heavy. She wondered how Yuan had raised you. How had he made a child so timid? She asked why you were crying. You secretly studied her expression. When she did not seem angry, you softly said, I miss Dad. Mi Cai had no experience comforting children. She could only say sternly, do not miss him. Go to sleep. Instead, your lips trembled. Your tears fell even harder. You covered your mouth even tighter. Mi Cai scratched her head. What will make you stop crying? Your voice choked with sobs. Mom, can you stay with me for a little while? Mi Cai instantly got a headache. She was Nanshang's infamous living demon. Just saying her name could silence a crying baby. Yet this little boy wanted her to stay with him. But when she saw the hope in your eyes, Mi Cai swallowed the words on her lips. She said coldly, just this once. Your eyes lit up. You immediately made plenty of room for her. Once Mi Cai lay down, your eyes curved into little crescents. You carefully studied Mi Cai's expression, thinking you were subtle. Your little hand crept toward the hem of her clothes. Mi Cai's brow furrowed. She still did not like physical contact. Just as her frown deepened, your hand caught the edge of her clothes. Only a tiny corner. Yet it was as if you had caught a sky full of stars. A contented smile spread across your little face. You soon fell asleep. You slept very properly. Mi Cai watched you for an hour without seeing you move once. Before she knew it, she fell asleep too. Early the next morning, before Mi Cai even opened her eyes, she felt someone watching her. When you saw she was awake, a flash of delight filled your eyes. Good morning, Mom. Mi Cai glanced at you. Your little hand still held the hem of her clothes. You kept the same distance as yesterday and did not snuggle closer. Such a considerate child, so mindful of her space. She nodded faintly and sat up. You hurriedly got up too, then obediently dressed yourself. Mi Cai was even more pleased. Hearing movement, old Master Mi looked up. He saw Mi Cai walk out with you. You followed behind her, and Mi Cai had not driven you away. His eyes shifted. A smile appeared on his face. At least she had some sense of responsibility. You sweetly greeted everyone one by one. Your soft, babyish voice melted everyone's hearts. Seeing you still clutching Yuan's urn, old Master Mi thought for a moment, then asked, did your father leave anything else behind? At his question, your eyes lit up. Seeing his gentle expression, you finally found the courage to say, yes, it is all at our old home. Grandpa, can I go get it? Seeing how nervous you were, old Master Mi nodded. Only then did you let out a long breath. It made everyone's hearts ache even more. Old Master Mi looked at Mi Cai. Go with the little one. Mi Cai frowned, but you held your breath as you watched her, as though you would suffocate if she refused. She found it oddly amusing, so she nodded. When you saw her agree, your face brightened with even more joy. Thank you, Mom. You are such a wonderful person. Everyone at the table wore strange expressions. The wonderful person he meant. Could he really mean Mi Cai, whose infamy filled Nanchang? Mi Cai herself remained expressionless. Children really do see people clearly. Everyone gave the shameless Mi Cai contemptuous looks. After breakfast, you left with Mi Cai. The two of you arrived at the rundown inner-city neighborhood where you had lived. In her custom suit, Mi Cai looked completely out of place there. You led her to a dilapidated building. This is it. The moment you reached the third floor, you heard a nasty voice, followed by things being thrown out. A shirt landed by your feet. The moment you saw it, your face changed. Your little legs raced upstairs. Seeing your belongings scattered all over the floor, you panicked. Do not throw out my dad's things. The landlord stood there with his greasy beer belly. He gave you a disdainful snort. Well, the little bastard is back. Your dad died in my property. I have not even demanded compensation from you. Now that you are back, you can repay what that worthless loser owed me. When the landlord called you a bastard, you did not react. But when he called Yuan worthless, your eyes turned red at once. You shoved the landlord hard. Do not insult my dad. You little bastard. You dare shove me. A vicious look flashed across the landlord's face. He kicked at you. You dare hit me. I will kill you. Seeing the huge foot swinging toward you, you instinctively closed your eyes, waiting for the pain. Before the landlord's foot could touch you, Mi Cai kicked him to the ground. Mi Cai's chilling voice sounded above him. Who gave you the nerve to hit my son? The landlord felt as if his insides were churning. He struggled to look up, only to see a face radiating murderous fury. One look left him terrified to speak properly. Miss me, what are you doing here? Mi Cai glanced at you standing nearby and said, go inside and get your things first. You looked at the landlord, usually so arrogant, now too frightened to move. Your little mouth broke into a grin. You felt brave again. You held your head high and marched inside. As you passed the landlord, you secretly stepped on him. Afterward, you guiltily glanced at Mi Cai. You feared Mom would think you were cruel. After going inside, You casually slammed the door shut. Bang! The sound seemed to crash into the landlord's chest. For a moment, he felt as though he had seen the gates of hell. As Mi Cai stalked toward him step by step, the landlord turned deathly pale. He pushed himself backward with his feet, wishing he could squeeze himself into the wall. Mi Cai placed her foot on his chest. Then she slowly pressed down. A little bastard, is he? Enjoy calling him that. The landlord felt his heart stop beating. The pain drained every bit of color from his face. He spoke with difficulty. I am the bastard. Please spare me. Miss me. Mi Cai gave a soft laugh, but her eyes were ice-cold. Cover your own mouth. I am about to beat you. Do not scare my son. She bent close to the landlord's ear. If you make one sound, I will rip out your tongue. If you make two, I will take your life. Understand? You came out carrying your things. When you did not see the landlord, you asked curiously, Mom, where is the bad landlord? Mi Cai slowly wiped her hands with a handkerchief and said, he was hungry. He went home for dinner. Did you get everything? You nodded and showed her the photo in your hand. It was the only photo of Mumu on there. It had been torn to pieces. You had secretly taped it back together. Mi Cai said nothing. She looked around the house. Calling it shabby did not begin to describe it. She could not help stroking your little head. You looked up at her. You saw tenderness in her eyes. You froze for a moment, then smiled widely. Gathering your courage, you took Mi Cai's hand. Mom, can I take this home? You pointed at the white shirt on the floor. It was Dad's favorite. It cost just a few dollars and was poorly made. But Yuan wore it and walked around the room in it for a long time. You did not know what had happened. Later, Dad went out and never wore it again. He even told you to throw it away, but you could not bear to. You hid it away in secret. Mi Cai took one casual look and nodded. Take it if you want. In the end, you took only a shirt and a photograph. You held them tightly as if they were treasures. On the way, Mi Cai received a call. Something seemed to have happened at the company. Looking at you beside her, Mi Cai curled her lips. Come to the office with me first. Her tone left no room for discussion. The moment she finished speaking, she was already turning the wheel. You sat quietly beside her. After getting out of the car, you tilted back your little head, staring at the towering building before you. You could not help letting out a wow. You tipped your head farther and farther back, until you nearly toppled backward. Mi Cai gently caught you and steadied you. Your little face reddened. You gave Mi Cai a shy smile, then took her hand, feeling the warmth in her palm. Mi Cai froze. She said nothing, just led you inside. The moment Mi Cai entered her office, her assistant rushed over, drenched in sweat. He was about to speak, but Mi Cai raised a hand to stop him. She looked down at you and called over the secretary. She told you to play with him for now. Do not run around. You obediently nodded. You let go of her hand and waved to the secretary. Like a tiny lucky cat, her palm suddenly felt empty. Mi Cai unconsciously rubbed her fingertips. She was surprisingly unaccustomed to it. She looked at the assistant, her gaze inexplicably cold. Let's go. The assistant was utterly confused. He had no idea how he had offended President Mi. Before leaving, he could not help looking back. How did President Mi suddenly have such a big son after just one day? Did she give birth overnight, as expected of a workaholic? Even childbirth had to be done overnight, and that little overachiever, who had grown to 3 overnight, was now surrounded by the company's female employees. Little guy, what is your name? In your sweet little voice, you said, Big sister, my name is Lynch. The women all beamed like proud Annies. Even his voice is adorable. He is so cute. Can I pinch those little cheeks? You blinked at that, then offered up your little face. Go ahead, pinch them. That gesture nearly made the young receptionist swoon from cuteness. One by one, they pulled out snacks they had brought and offered them to you. You thanked each of them and sat on the sofa to eat. You looked impossibly well behaved. Then a loud bang came from the conference room. You flinched in fright. You looked over and found the entire office silent as death. Worried something had happened to Mom, you could not help wanting to check on her. Then the clivia on the windowsill rustled its leaves. Sigh. The project everyone had worked overtime on for over half a year was all for nothing because of a mole. All that money is going down the drain. What a shame. President Mi probably never imagined the mole was the person she trusted most. Your ears perked up, and you walked to the window. You gently watered the clivia. Its leaves stretched contentedly. This little boy is so handsome. You smiled. Mr. Clivia, you are handsome too. At that, the clivia's leaves went still. Then they began shaking wildly. Little boy, you can hear me talk. You gently nodded. Leaning close, you asked softly, Mr. Clivia, there is a bad person at Mom's company. It was the first time the clivia had met someone who could talk to it. It was overjoyed. It told you everything it knew. The moment Mi Cai came in, she saw you hugging the clivia and whispering away. Your little face even looked indignant. Her mood suddenly improved. She came over and pinched your little cheek. Who made you angry? When Mi Cai came over, You quickly took her hand and led her to sit down. Your little face was utterly serious. Mom, I need to tell you something. There is a bad person in your company. Mi Cai slightly raised a brow and asked, who is it? You clenched your little fists. His name is Xiao Jianren. The smile slowly faded from her face. He was her most trusted assistant and her closest college friend. Who told you that? The clivia shook its leaves and said, little one, do not tell her. She might capture you and experiment on you. The next second, your clear little voice rang through the office. Orchid brother told me. Mi Cai frowned. She followed where you pointed. You mean this Orchid? You nodded emphatically. Mom, you're so smart. That bad guy came to your office and stole things. He sold all your things to Shenghao Company. Mi Cai thought for a moment. You mean Shenghao? You slapped your forehead. That is the one. Mom, hurry and catch him. Mi Cai looked at you, then at the silent clivia nearby. She rose and walked out. Once she left, the clivia let out a long sigh. Its leaves relaxed again as it said, Kid, why did you tell her everything? Stay away from her from now on. She is not a good person. You put your hands on your hips and face the clivia. My mom is wonderful. My mom is a very good person. I am not playing with you anymore. With that, you stomped away in a huff. The clivia was speechless. Mi Cai is a good person. That's because you've never seen her throw people into the sea to feed the fish. You rushed out and looked around. When you found Mi Cai, you ran toward her. The moment you pushed open the door, you saw her kick someone in the knee. The man dropped to his knees at once. The clivia shook its leaves. That is Xiao Jianren. See, Mom is really fierce. You suddenly understood. So he was the big bad guy. You charged over with your little fist raised. That is for bullying my mom. That is for making my mom angry. Take that. You appeared out of nowhere and punched him. Thud. 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 You hurt him 100, but hurt yourself 8,000. You scrunched up your face and blew on your bright red hands. Your lips trembled in a pitiful pout. Tears welled in your eyes. Mi Cai's lips twitched. Speechless, she hauled you back. The corner of her mouth secretly lifted, but when her gaze fell on Xiao Jianren, her expression darkened again. After hearing you out, she had investigated. To her surprise, it really was Xiao Jianren. Why did you do this? Mi Cai pulled over a chair and sat down. She looked down at him from above. Xiao Jianren knelt on the floor, looking disheveled. At her words, he suddenly laughed. He looked up at Mi Cai and said, Shenghao said that if I sold them the core technology, they would make me their chief executive officer. Xiao Jianren's face darkened. Mi Cai, I am no worse than you. Why can I not be my own boss? Mi Cai laughed in anger. Your idea of being a boss is making money off what belongs to me. Is your skin thicker than a castle wall? You have some nerve. You silently nodded. Yes, exactly. Your little hands were nearly battered raw from hitting him. Mi Cai had been furious, but seeing you nod so earnestly, looking so silly, she suddenly could not stay angry. Leaning back in her chair, she said carelessly, fine. You want to be a boss? Then go ahead. Xiao Jianren froze. He hadn't expected Mi Cai to let him go so easily. Xiao Jianren climbed to his feet. He tried to straighten his back and said, Mi Cai, I will be better than you. Mi Cai did not even look at him. She took your reddened hand and said unhappily, you touch anything and everything. Aren't you afraid of getting your hands dirty? Xiao Jianren's face turned red, then livid. With a snort, he strode away. Mi Cai rubbed your hand and asked, does it hurt? You obediently shook your head. You looked up at her with admiration. Mom, you are such a wonderful person. You just let that big bad guy go. Mi Cai raised a brow. She thought so too. Xiao Jianren may have betrayed her, but Mi Cai had already decided where to bury Xiao Jianren. After handling everything, she took you shoe shopping. You were still wearing girls' shoes borrowed from Mi Cai's niece. At the mall, you glanced at the shoe prices. Frightened, you put them down and pulled Mi Cai outside. Mi Cai did not press you. She took you to several more stores. You would not even try anything on. When Mi Cai asked again, you finally whispered, blushing, Mom, everything here is too expensive. Mi Cai pinched your little cheek. Do you know how much I make in a minute? My time cost far more than these things. With that, she took you straight into a store. She sat down on the sofa. Bring me everything in his size. The clerk's eyes lit up at the sight of such a big spender. Before you could react, she brought over a pile of shoes. You instinctively checked the price first. Your little brows furrowed, reluctant to buy them. But remembering what Mi Cai had said, you quietly picked one pair, seeing that they fit you perfectly. Mi Cai waved a hand. Pack up every pair in the size. Your mouth fell open in shock. You counted on your fingers. How much will this cost? Mom was wonderful, except she was a bit of a spendthrift. You were worried but dared not speak. You did not want to waste her time. Your little face turned red from holding it in, like a wronged child. Mi Cai watched your tiny expressions with interest. She suddenly thought raising a child could be fun. You walked ahead with your head down. You did not notice someone entering through the doorway. You bumped right into each other. You hurriedly said, sorry. But the little boy you bumped into frowned. He lifted his foot and kicked at you. Are you blind? He moved too quickly. Before Mi Cai could react, he had kicked you to the ground. You hissed in pain. When you looked up, you first saw a lovely face. It looked somewhat familiar. Then all the color drained from your face. Your lips trembled as you silently formed to words. Mom. Liu Ruyan was holding the hand of the little boy who had kicked you. Mi Cai's face darkened at once. She bent down and picked you up. Her slender hand gently rubbed your leg. She looked coldly at Baichuan. Then she kicked him down too. Enough. No need to apologize. She preferred paying things back directly. Mi Cai's kick was far harder than Baichuan's. Baichuan burst into tears. Liu Ruyan frowned deeply at her. President Mi. What is the meaning of this? Mi Cai casually glanced at her. She ruffled your hair. Are you blind? Can you not see that I am getting even? Liu Ruyan was left speechless by her retort. Yet she was wary of that notorious hellraiser. She cursed her rotten luck inwardly. Why did she have to run into her? Liu Ruyan's gaze fell on you. A face flashed through her mind. Her frown deepened. Her gaze toward you filled with disgust. She looked away. Irritability clouded her mood. It is only a dispute between children. For you, President Mi, to lay hands on a child, is that not going too far? Mi Cai rubbed her chin. After thinking it over, she nodded. You have a point. With that, she set you down and said, kick him back. Since adults should not get involved, let the children settle it themselves. Before you could speak, Baichuan began shouting. His shrill voice made everyone's head ache. At that moment, Mu Wanzhou walked over. She bent down, helped Baichuan up, and gently said, Chuan, do not be so rude. When you do something wrong, you must apologize to the other child. I will not. Baichuan refused outright. He hugged Liu Ruyan's leg. Mommy, pick me up. He lifted his chin, casting a provocative glance your way. Mu Wanzhou smiled helplessly beside them. Her gaze happened to sweep over you. When she saw your face, her eyelids suddenly twitched. Noticing her expression, Liu Ruyan asked with concern. Mu Wanzhou shook her head and smiled at her. She tried to suppress her unease. Linge was already dead. No one would ever disturb them again. You instinctively glanced at Liu Ruyan. Her expression as she looked at Baichuan was so tender. Mu Wanzhou stood beside her. They looked like a very happy family of three. A family of three. Those words made your eyes redden at once. Your reddened eyes made Linji's image surface in Liu Ruyan's mind again. Irritation showed on her face. Her gaze toward you grew even colder. Meeting Liu Ruyan's disgusted gaze, you silently lowered your head. You took Mi Cai's hand. Such a little coward. Mi Cai gave you an exasperated look, frustrated that you would not stand up for yourself. She gave Liu Ruyan a cold snort. Then she took your hand and left. In the car, you still kept your head down. You looked deeply dejected. For some reason, Mi Cai felt irritated too. Her fingertips lightly tapped the steering wheel. Then she suddenly asked, do you know who she is? You hesitated, then nodded. She is my birth mother. Mi Cai became even more displeased. Little Linge, you cannot be so greedy. You can only have one mom. Do you choose her or me? You snapped back to yourself and answered without hesitation. You. At your answer, Mi Cai's lips curled upward. You had better be sure. Once you're my son, you can't keep thinking about anyone else. Liu Ruyan is Baichuan's mother, not yours. Do you understand? You nodded obediently, yet you still looked a little sad. Mi Cai clicked her tongue. What are you sad about? Am I not better than Liu Ruyan? You pressed your lips together. Then you suddenly said, I just thought of Dad. If Dad had seen that just now, he would have been so sad. At the mention of Mu Yuan, Mi Cai paused, but made no comment. She asked, what about you? Does seeing their family of three make you sad? You thought carefully. Then you shook your head, your voice firm. No, she does not want me. I do not want her either. Mi Cai's brows rose. If Mu Yuan had possessed your resolve back then, he would not have ended up like this. Besides, I already have the best mom. You looked up at her. You gave her a smile. Mi Cai froze for a moment. Then her smile grew wider and wider. She gave you a meaningful look. Good choice. By the time you two arrived home, it was already afternoon. Old Master Mi's eyes lit up when he saw you. He hurried over. He had no eyes for his daughter, only you. He immediately fussed over you. Sweetheart, are you cold? Are you hungry? Would you like something to eat? Grandpa, I'm hungry. You lifted your little face and gave him a sweet, obedient smile. It melted old Master Mi's heart. He carried you to the dining table. Come on, see what you want to eat. If you do not like it, I'll have something else made. You looked at the table full of dishes and hurriedly nodded your little head. I like it. I like it. After dinner, old Master Mi helped sort through the things you had brought back. That photograph held together with tape was carefully placed in a frame by the old master. He set it by your bedside, where you could see it whenever you turn your head. You could not help looking at it again and again. Your little hand gently stroked Mu Yuan's face. Then you looked up and smiled at old Master Mi again. Old Master Mi felt a warmth fill his heart. He called Mi Chen and Mi Xian inside. These are your second aunts to children. Your cousin, Mi Chen, and your cousin, Mishi. After introducing them, old Master Mi reminded them, take your little brother out to play. Do not bully him, or you'll answer to me. Mishi smiled and took your hand. We would never bully our little brother. The two girls looked you over with fascination. We wanted to play with you yesterday. You looked at them curiously too. Wow, you look exactly alike. Even your clothes match. Mi Chen and Mishi took you out to play ball. You bounced the basketball as though it were a rubber ball. But every time you bounced it, it rolled away. You spun in circles, desperately trying to bounce it. It made the twins burst out laughing. You looked at them blankly, not knowing what was so funny. So you laughed foolishly along with them. Mi Cai stood by the window, seeing your silly little self. She could not stop her lips from curving up. Little dummy. The ball accidentally rolled away. You hurried after it. 3 children happened to be walking toward you. When they saw you coming, Baichuan gritted his teeth. He said to the 2 girls beside him, second cousin, third cousin. He's the one who hit me. I got kicked at the mall today. He had cried for ages at home. At that, Lin Yu and Lin Xiaobei flew into a rage. So, you're the one who bullied Qian. You looked at them, your little brows furrowing. You pressed your lips together. Without a word, you turned and ran. But after one step, Lin Xiaobei rushed over and blocked your path. She stuck out her foot. You were tripped and fell hard to the ground. Your hand scraped harshly against the ground. Pain immediately scrunched up your little face. Lin Baichuan smugly stepped on you. Aren't you so tough? Go on. Hit me. You struggled with all your strength. Then you opened your mouth and bit him. Lin Baichuan had not expected you to actually fight back. He stamped his feet in fury. Second cousin, third cousin, help me hold him down. Lin Yu and Lin Xiaobei obediently grabbed one of your arms each. They were 3 years older than you. You could not move at all. Lin Baichuan gave a cold snort. He raised his hand to slap you. You little bastard. That's for biting me. Just as his hand was about to fall, an enraged shout suddenly rang out. What do you think you're doing? Mi Chen and Mishi had only looked away for a moment, yet their little brother was already being pinned down and beaten. They were instantly furious. Mishi rushed over and punched Lin Xiaobei. Mi Chen rushed in too, taking Lin Yu straight to the ground. She also kicked Lin Baichuan down. In an instant, they were tangled in a brawl. Seeing Mi Chen losing while outnumbered 2-1, you hurried over to help. You grabbed a fistful of Lin Baichuan's hair. Don't hit my third sister. You pulled with every ounce of strength you had. Lin Baichuan wailed from the pain. When the others saw the fight, they hurried off to get the adults. Mi Cai hurried over. She feared that, with your tiny arms and legs, you would be bullied and be too scared to say anything. The more she thought about it, the worse it seemed. But when she arrived, the sight before her left her stunned. You were sitting astride Lin Baichuan, your fist relentlessly raining down on him. Lin Baichuan lay face down, flopping like a dead fish. Unable to roll over, he could only gape helplessly. This was nothing like what Mi Cai had imagined. Mi Cai watched appreciatively for quite a while. Only when Lin Yuanzhou arrived did she step forward and pull you away. Feeling someone pull you, you whipped around with a fierce glare. But the moment you saw Mi Cai, you became obedient. You stood up and moved to her side. You secretly glanced at the hair in your hand. Feeling a little guilty, you hid your hand behind your back. Then you quietly threw the hair away. Lin Yuanzhou gathered Lin Baichuan up, his heart aching. What happened? Lin Baichuan was crying so hard he could barely breathe. Seeing Lin Yuanzhou made him feel even more wronged. He pointed at you and said, Dad, he bullied me. Following the direction of his finger, Lin Yuanzhou froze for a moment. Why did this child look so familiar? Before he could remember where he had seen you before, Mi Chen scrambled up and spat at Baichuan. You were the ones who hit my little brother first. Mishi took the chance to kick Lin Yu again. Shameless. 3 of you ganged up on my little brother. Lin Yu and Lin Xiaobei were too angry to speak. Then they saw the bald patch on Lin Baichuan's head and found their nerve again. Your brother bullied our brother first. Just look what he did to my brother. Mishi snorted and stepped in front of you. That's because he is weak. He could not beat my brother, so he ran crying to an adult. Shame on you. Mishi's words made Lin Baichuan even angrier. He threw back his head and began to howl. Mi Chen looked at him with open disgust. Then she turned back to look at you. Her little brother was much better. He was so quiet. Not like Lin Baichuan, who cried all the time. Just like his mother, a walking bad omen. After hearing what the children said, Lin Yuanzhou roughly understood what had happened. His gaze flickered, his brow furrowed as he looked at Lin Baichuan's injured head. He looked at you and said mockingly, President Mi, where did you find this little stray? He fights like a street shrew. At those words, your ears twitched. You quickly looked up at him, then lowered your head again. You remembered that voice. It belonged to the uncle who had told you to die. You could not help glancing at Mi Cai again, afraid she would despise you. Mi Cai's lips curled. Seeing your unease, she suddenly said, Well done. Your eyes lit up. You quickly lifted your little head to look at her. Mi Cai casually pinched your cheek. Keep doing that. If anyone dares hit you, hit them back. I'll handle everything else. You blink. Your eyes grew brighter as you looked at Mi Cai. Your little back straightened without you noticing. Watching this, Lin Yuanzhou felt inexplicably irritated. You'll handle it. As far as I know, the Mi group can barely keep its own head above water, and President Mi still has time to meddle in children's fights. At Lin Yuanzhou's words, Mi Cai's gaze turned colder. I am certainly not as shameless as your Lin family, stealing someone else's trade secrets, yet acting so self-righteous. Shenghao technology belongs to the Lin family. The stolen medical robot project is now managed by Lin Yuanzhou's third sister, Lin Yuanzhou frowned at her words. Stealing trade secrets is against the law. Do not throw around baseless accusations. Mi Cai gave a cold snort. Whether I have accused you falsely or not, go home and ask your dear sister, and tell her this. Since she loves picking through garbage so much, she may as well become a beggar. Lin Yuanzhou was furious. With a deep frown, he hurried back. He did not even hear his 3 children calling after him. Mishi shook her fist at them. Still want to fight. Lin Yu and Lin Xiaobei were too aggrieved to say a word. They hurried after Lin Yuanzhou. Trash, Mi Chen snorted. But when she looked up and met Mi Cai's gaze, her expression froze. She immediately behaved and dared not say another word. Mi Cai said nothing. She took the 3 little troublemakers home. When old Master Mi saw them, filthy from head to toe, he was startled. Did you fall into a pit? The little troublemakers did not dare answer. Mi Cai sat on the sofa and said, they got into a fight with those little brats from the Lin family. Mishi muttered softly. They hit our little brother first. We only fought back. A fight? Old Master Mi blurted out. Who won? Mi Chen tipped her chin toward you. He yanked out a bald patch of Lin Baichuan's hair. Old Master Mi looked at you in surprise. Then he scooped you up and gave you a big kiss. His face was full of smiles. Well done, sweetheart. Grandpa's kiss left you a little dazed. At his praise, your little face turned red, and your eyes sparkled. Old Madame Mi also gave Mi Chen and Mishi a slight nod. You even knew to protect your little brother. Good job. The 2 girls immediately puffed out their chest. It was the first time they had ever been praised for fighting. They were walking on air. They took your little hands and happily led you off to build Lego. Having a little brother was wonderful. Watching Mi Cai walk away, you quietly asked your sisters, was that family the one that stole mom's business? Mi Chen did not know much either. She said, I think so. Lin Yi's aunt opened a company, and she is always going against third aunt. Mishi snorted. If little aunt were here, those people would not dare strut around. You were surprised to hear that. There is a little aunt too. Mi Chen suddenly remembered. Right, you have not met little aunt yet. She is in the hospital. She will not be back for a couple of days. She suddenly thought of something. She shook her head and did not continue. Maybe it is better you have not met her. Little aunt is even scarier than third aunt. You furrowed your little brows. Mom is not scary. Mom is very gentle. Mi Chen and Mishi exchanged a look. Oh no, their little brother was perfect in every way, except he clearly needed his eyes checked. Nearby, old Master Mi could not stop chuckling at your conversation. If third heard that, she would be floating on cloud 9. But when he heard you mention little aunt, the smile vanished from his face, and he sighed helplessly. It snowed for the next several days. You did not go out to play. Instead, you stayed home and planted flowers with old Master Mi. As you planted, you chatted with the flowers. Before long, you had gotten to know everyone in the family. You even learned every secret within 10 miles. For instance, the woman across the street brought other men home behind her husband's back, and the girl next door had fallen in love at first sight with her tutor. When old Master Mi saw you hugging a flower and talking to it again, he could not help laughing. You looked utterly serious, nodding your little head now and then, as though you were talking to someone. He found it amusing. Walking over, he asked with a smile. Sweetheart, what are you talking about? You blurted out. Brother Rose said, Grandpa made Grandma angry last night. Grandma would not let you sleep in the bed, so you slept on the sofa. Old Madame Mi, who had been seriously reading the newspaper, was utterly speechless. Her face reddened. She secretly glanced at old Master Mi. Why did that old man tell the child everything? Old Master Mi was bewildered too. Littleje, how did you know that? You blinked, holding up the flower in your hand. You said, Brother Rose told me. Old Master Mi laughed. He ruffled your little head. His eyes lit up as he looked at the flowers you had watered each morning. Every pot looked so lively. That 18 scholars camellia had nearly died before. Yet now it had even bloomed with beautiful flowers. It was bursting with life. Seeing Grandpa's expression, you suddenly knew there was something you could do. You would take good care of all these flowers and make Grandpa happy. That night, you were sleeping soundly when Molan, the orchid on the balcony, suddenly woke you. Xiaoji, wake up. Your little aunt slid her wrist again. You hurried out of bed and ran in the direction the orchid had indicated. You poked your little head into the room and found it pitch dark inside. You carefully made your way to the bathroom, where you saw someone lying inside. There was a deep cut across her wrist, with blood flowing from it, just like Dad back then. Your pupils contracted at the sight of her. Tears immediately spilled down your cheeks. Mi Li had just arranged a perfect crime scene. She was ready to die in peace when she suddenly heard someone sobbing. She frowned, looking down impatiently. She saw a little boy standing beside her. Who are you? You burst into loud tears. Dad, do not die. Mi Li's face darkened when her death was interrupted. Irritably, she pressed the call bell beside the bathtub. Before long, the entire Mi family was awake. They rushed in and filled her room. Mi Cai strode over and lifted Mi Li out of the bathtub. Back in the room, Mi Li's brows were tightly furrowed. Looking at you clinging tightly to her, she gritted out. Whose kid is this? Mi Cai leaned against the window. This is my son, your nephew. Since it is your first time meeting him, remember to get him a gift. Mi Li's mouth twitched. She gave a cold laugh. I have not seen you for a few days, and your son is already this big. Did you give birth to him? Speechless, Mi Li glanced at old Master Mi. No wonder you are father and daughter. You both say the same things that leave people speechless. Mi Li looked at you, having soaked a patch of her clothes with tears. Her face turned utterly grim. Stop crying. You looked up at her and obediently covered your mouth, but tears kept plopping down. You looked even more pitiful. Old Master Mi held you. Do not scare him. Little G's father died by suicide. Mi Li fell silent for a moment. Then she said irritably, do not cry. I did not die, did I? Your little hand touched the several scars on her arm. Your tiny face scrunched up. Then you puffed out your cheeks and gently blew on Mi Li's wounds. It was as though you were one in pain. Your warm breath brushed her skin, but it felt as if Mi Li's heart had been scalded. She turned her head away. Then, with apparent distaste, she lifted you aside with one hand. I am fine. All of you, get out. Old Master Mi opened his mouth, but stopped himself. He was worried about his youngest daughter, but saying so would only make her dislike it more. He did not dare say it, but someone spoke up for him. You went to Mi Li, hugged her injured arm, and refused to leave. Mi Li raised her fist. Leave, or I will hit you. She looked rather fierce. You instinctively shrank back in fear, but you still did not let go. If I had stayed with Dad, then Dad would not have died. At that thought, your tears fell even harder. Mi Cai frowned and said, you are an adult. Why are you bullying a child? Have you no shame? You made him cry, so you comfort him. With that, she placed you in Mi Li's arms. Then she took old Master Mi and left. No matter how Mi Li called after them, they did not look back. Mi Li looked down at you, her teeth clenched. Kid, you are latching onto me now, are you? You tilted your little head at her, looking utterly innocent. Mi Li sneered. You and your mother just love picking on me. She was furious, so she simply closed her eyes. Out of sight, out of mind. Before she knew it, she had fallen asleep. The next morning, the moment Mi Li opened her eyes, she met a pair of red-rimmed eyes. She froze, then asked, you did not sleep all night. You pinched your arm hard. I am not sleepy. Mi Li looked at the row of red marks on your arm. The hurtful words on her lips would not come out. How could this kid be even more stubborn than Mi Cai? Old Master Mi knocked outside, calling you both to breakfast. Mi Li had just said she was not eating when you jumped out of bed and opened the door. Soon, you tiptoed back and carrying a glass of milk. You set it on the bedside table. After that, you saw how dark the room was and reached your little hand for the curtains. Mi Li's face changed when she saw what you were doing. Stop. You had already pulled the curtains open. Turning back, you looked at Mi Li in confusion. Your gaze was involuntarily drawn to Mi Li's legs. Muscle atrophy had reduced both legs to skin and bone. The sight was horrifying. Mi Li lightly raised her hand and smashed the glass of milk onto the floor with a bang. Get out. You seemed frozen with fright. You looked at the shards on the floor, then looked up at little Aunt. Lowering your head, you walked out. Mi Li looked at the bandages on her hand and gave a bitter smile. She was nothing but a cripple now. Why did they save her? Just then, the door opened again. You came in carrying a broom and dustpan, skillfully sweeping up the broken glass. You even checked every corner, making it spotless. Not a single shard remained. When you finished, you left without a word. Dad had been like this whenever he got drunk. At times like that, he only wanted to be alone. He did not want to see you. Little Aunt must be the same. Old Master Mi sighed softly at the door. Sweetheart, you have worked hard. Go get some sleep. You smiled at him. Grandpa, do not be scared. I will protect little Aunt. You had just secretly placed a rose beside little Aunt's bed. Old Master Mi affectionately patted your little head. All right, sweetheart. Thank you. Back in your room, you did not sleep. Holding Mo Lan, you asked, what happened to little Aunt's legs? Mo Lan had been with the Mi family for many years. Little Aunt had once been a forensic pathologist. She had solved many cases, but over an autopsy in one case, someone reported that she had taken money to falsify the findings. The deceased's family was dissatisfied, and in a rage, drove a car into her. Her life was saved, but her legs were ruined. Mi Li, once so proud, could not bear such a fall. She developed severe depression. This was already her 5th suicide attempt. You listened, feeling confused. Little Aunt's family is so wealthy. She would never need to take a bribe. Mo Lan seemed to see through your thoughts. It sighed again. It was terrible timing. When this accusation came to light, the Mi Company happened to be facing a cash flow crisis. You did not understand any of that. You only knew that Little Aunt would never do something bad. The orchid continued. Besides, your Little Aunt is a total money grubber. When she was little, every Lunar New Year, she wanted lucky money, so she knelt and kowtowed her way through the whole neighborhood. It made old Master Mi so mad he nearly disowned her. She became even more stingy as she grew up. So stingy she has remained single her entire life. Such a gorgeous face. Wasted. You could not help letting out a little gasp. Your eyes suddenly lit up. So Little Aunt likes money. That is easy then. Mi Li was asleep when a clinking, clattering noise woke her. Hearing the commotion outside, she picked up her phone and opened the security feed. There, she saw you dragging a sack filled with bottles and delivery boxes. Mi Chen and Mi Shi followed beside you, helping you drag it. Mi Li was baffled. Was the Mi family going bankrupt? Why were these kids collecting recyclables? Without realizing it, she watched for a long time. She pulled up the security footage from your entire route, watching every recording. Then she watched the children collect recyclables all over the neighborhood. After selling them, you all came back happily. Before long, Mi Li heard someone push open her door. Then your little head peeked inside. You tiptoed to her bedside. Mi Li had planned to pretend she was asleep, but you sat beside her bed for half an hour, with no intention of leaving. She frowned, slowly opened her eyes, and said coldly, "What do you want?" Ignoring her sour expression, you proudly took 9 yuan and 80 cents from your pocket and held it out to her. "Little Aunt, this is what my sisters and I earned today. It is for you. Are you happier now?" Mi Li's words caught in her throat. So everything they did earlier was for her? When she did not answer, you stuffed the money into her hand and tilted up your little face. Brother Mo Lan said you are a money grubber, Little Aunt. He said you love money most of all. From now on, I will collect bottles and boxes every day. When I grow up, I will earn even more money for you. Mi Li could not describe what she felt. She quietly watched you. Her numb heart ached and swelled with emotion. Then she suddenly realized something. She glared at you. Who said I am a money grubber? Get out. When did that Molan show up? How dare he ruin her reputation? She chased you out again. Your expression froze. Disappointment flashed in your eyes. Even your once cheerful voice grew much quieter. Silently, you headed out. Mi Li opened her mouth, but did not know what to say. A flicker of regret crossed her eyes. Unsure how to repay you, Mi Li sent Mi Cai the medical robot program she had written. She added a short note. I do not owe you and your son anything. Mi Cai was puzzled when she received the email. Then there was the matter of Linge, too. To find out what was going on. After breakfast, she saw you lead Mi Chen and Mi Shi outside. Without asking questions, she silently followed behind. Then she saw your two sisters rally more than 10 friends to collect recyclables. Mi Cai could not help stepping forward. You were nearly climbing headfirst into a trash can for a bottle, so she lifted you out. You jumped in fright, but when you turned and saw Mi Cai, a sweet, obedient smile immediately appeared on your little face. Mom, Mi Cai casually nodded and asked, why are you collecting recyclables? You wiped your sweat with your sleeve. Brother Mo Lan said Little Aunt likes money, so I want to earn some and make her happy. At that, you lowered your little head and sniffled. But when I gave Little Aunt money yesterday, she did not seem very happy. Soon, you lifted your little face again. I must not have earned enough. Once I earn more, Little Aunt will smile. Mi Cai's gaze turned complicated. You are doing all this for that? You nodded. Yes. If Little Aunt were happier, she would not hurt herself. You had asked Brother Rose what depression meant. He said it meant someone was so unhappy they did not want to live. Dad was like that too. You rarely saw him smile. In the end, he chose to leave because he did not want to live anymore. You had already lost Dad. If only you could keep Little Aunt. Mi Cai quietly looked at you. She wrapped the warm scarf from her neck around your head. Your Little Aunt is not unhappy. She just replied to me. Your eyes instantly lit up like little bulbs. Really? Your feelings rubbed off on Mi Cai. She smiled softly and nodded. Of course it is. Your eyes curved into little crescents as you smiled. That is good then. Mom, I am going now. I will keep working to make Little Aunt happier. Mi Cai nodded. She glanced at Mi Chen and Mi Shi. Take good care of your brother. The twins, who had thought they were about to be punished, exchanged a look. Their eyes lit up together. Ever since their little brother arrived, Third Aunt had become so much gentler. Then they watched Mi Cai walk outside Mi Li's room. She gave the wall a hard kick. How much longer are you planning to watch? Seeing Third Aunt like that, the twins shuddered. Now this was the third aunt they knew. Afraid of getting dragged into it, they quickly pulled you far away. Their friends were curious when they saw you. How did those two suddenly get a little brother? Mi Chen and Mi Shi did not know how to explain it. All they knew was that third aunt had gone out, then returned with a little brother. Mi Shi casually made up that third aunt had traveled through time, and then gave birth to a little brother. Their friends believed it completely. That day, they all went home and pestered their parents to time travel and give them little brothers too. Soon, a rumor quietly spread. Some said Mi Cai was developing a time machine. Others said she was researching artificial sperm. When the rumor reached Mi Cai, she wanted nothing more than to give her two nieces a good spanking. When Mi Chen and Mi Shi saw her look, they cleverly jumped behind you. You looked up at Mi Cai. Then you pulled out a flower and offered it to her. Mom, this flower is for you. Mi Cai's anger instantly vanished. She looked at you and frowned. Why are your clothes wet? You shyly clasped your little hands together. You whispered, I slipped by accident and fell into a pile of snow. Old Mr. Mi tenderly took you for a hot bath. Then he changed you into clean clothes. Sweetheart, you are not going out tomorrow. It is too cold. But you shook your head. I cannot. I need to earn money for little aunt. Old Mr. Mi's eyes reddened when he heard that. He hugged you close and showered you with kisses. Good child, you have worked so hard. What would you like for dinner? Grandpa will make it. Hearing that, Mi Chen said in horror, Grandpa, are you trying to poison our brother? Old Mr. Mi's face stiffened. He glared at his granddaughter, his face full of disdain. Just as he thought, his granddaughters were hopeless. They could not even speak properly. You said softly, anything is fine. I am not a picky eater. Thank you, Grandpa. My little grandson is still the sweetest. Old Mr. Mi kissed you again as he held you. Humming, he headed for the kitchen. Mi Chen and Mi Shi looked at you and sighed deeply. You will regret this. You looked at them in confusion. You did not understand why they said that. Not until you were at the dinner table and saw the blackened things on the plate. You blinked hesitantly. You carefully glanced at old Mr. Mi. Can this really be eaten? Will it make me sick? But seeing Grandpa's expectant eyes, you took a small breath. Bracing yourself, you reached for your chopsticks. Before you could pick up the charred lump, Mi Li carried you away. Little Ji's still so young. You should cook less from now on. What are you talking about? Old Mr. Mi huffed. Unconvinced, he picked up a piece of something unrecognizable. He stuffed it into his mouth. The next second, he spat it out expressionlessly, pretending nothing had happened. He rose and quickly followed them. Let us eat at Wu Waiju today. Old woman, call and reserve a private room. Old Mrs. Mi calmly said, I already did. Let us go. She had booked it the moment he said he would cook. After all, everyone knew how awful her husband's cooking was. Everyone went out to eat. The once lively house suddenly fell quiet. Lying in bed, Mi Li suddenly felt irritated. She did not know why, until they returned from dinner, and the house became lively again. Her irritation grew even stronger. She waited quietly, as everyone went to their rooms and the house gradually quieted. Her heart sank little by little. Even Mi Li did not understand where this sudden feeling came from. Just then, someone suddenly pushed open her door. Her heart settled back into place. Even if she did not want to admit it, she knew she had been waiting for that little boy. You came over, just like yesterday. You pulled out a wad of money and handed it to her. It was all loose change. You also handed Mi Li a lunchbox. Little aunt, I brought you a little cake. It is really delicious. Try some. Mi Li turned away, refusing. They had left her home alone, and after being gone so long, they had not even come to see her first. Now they thought a little treat could win her over? Not a chance. But you were not discouraged. You opened the box and waved it in front of Mi Li. It is really good, little aunt. Will you just try one bite? Just one bite, please. Mi Li gave a cold snort. She turned her head the other way. You ran to her again. One bite, little aunt. Mi Li kept turning her head from side to side, expressionless. It was only a little movement of her neck, but it wore you out. You panted heavily. Mi Li thought this should finally drive you away. Then she felt the bed beside her sink slightly. Turning around, she saw you had climbed up. You shook your little head with smug delight. You scooped up some cake and held it to her lips. Your little mouth opened wide. Mi Li was about to refuse when sweetness filled her mouth. You had slipped it in while she opened her mouth. Mi Li wore a dark expression, yet you were not afraid at all. As you fed her cake, you chattered about collecting recyclables. Though she had already watched it on the security footage, she still listened with great interest. Without noticing, she had eaten more than half the cake you fed her. Suddenly, she sensed something. She turned and saw Mi Cai standing in the doorway, though she had no idea when she arrived. She leaned against the doorframe. The corner of her mouth curled up. The cake is good, right? If you want it, just eat it. Why put on an act? Mi Li's expression stiffened. Expressionlessly, she pushed your hand away. Mi Cai sneered and stepped forward. She picked you up. Then she glanced at Mi Li. The robot program you wrote still needs revisions. You need to fix it. Consider it your return gift. Mi Li froze. She widened her eyes and said, Mi Cai, you remember that I am a patient right now. Mi Cai glanced at her. She replied matter-of-factly, it will not affect you. Get writing. I need it tomorrow. Mi Li was just about to lose her temper when you cheered. Little aunt can make robots. That is amazing. Without realizing it, Mi Li's lips curled into a smile. Only after you and Mi Cai left did she come to her senses. Wait. That is not right. Mi Li's face darkened. That mother and son were playing good cop and bad cop on her, were they? Early the next morning, Mi Li unusually wheeled herself out of her room. She meant to tell Mi Cai, I did not write the damn software you asked for. What are you going to do about it? She was about to start cursing when she saw Mi Cai holding your little hand. Mi Cai looked concerned. You worked outside all day. You must be freezing. Mi Li lifted her eyes for a glance. Your little hands were red from the cold and covered in chilblains. Her breath caught. You shook your little head. I am not cold. Little Anne, do not work too hard. I am going to collect recyclables. I will come play with you later. With that, you grabbed your sack and ran out after your sisters. The moment you left the yard, your foot slipped. You fell hard to the ground. You spoke sensibly. Mi Li pressed her lips together. Then she took out her laptop. Mi Cai's lips curled up, as if I cannot handle you. Seeing her smug grin, old Master Mi asked, what had happened? When he learned the truth, his eyes reddened again. She used to lie there all day. He never expected your arrival would change her. He wiped his eyes. Then he suddenly stood and headed for the kitchen. I am making something delicious to thank our sweet boy. Madame Mi, reading the newspaper nearby, shuddered. Mi Cai's hand trembled. Her mouth twitched. Dad, could you not bite the hand that feeds you? Old Master Mi looked a little guilty. He tried to save face. I will just supervise from the side. An hour later, Mi Cai called you back. She did not want you to freeze for real. After finishing the program, Mi Li let out a long breath. She realized she had fallen for their pity ploy. She vowed never to fall for it again. That evening, you brought her the money in your hands. Your eyes were a little red, as if you had been crying. Seeing that, Mi Li casually asked, why are you crying? Rubbing your eyes, you muttered. We spotted a box first, but an old man ran faster than us and took it away. You lowered your head, full of guilt. Little Anne, I did not earn much today. Are you unhappy with me now? Mi Li froze. She looked at you with mixed emotions. After a few seconds, she looked away and said, no. You looked up in surprise. Really? The light in your eyes made Mi Li's eyes sting. Uncomfortably, she turned away. She said nothing more. She took something from a drawer and tossed it into your hands. This is your return gift. You can leave now. You looked down at the chilblain ointment in your hands. All the unease in your heart vanished. You broke into a radiant smile. Thank you, Little Anne. After finishing work, Mi Cai quietly came to your room. She found you sleeping soundly, clutching Mu Yuan's urn. She thought it was time to lay Mu Yuan to rest. You could not keep holding him in your arms forever. The next day, she told you about it. Then she showed you photographs of several burial plots. Your grip on Mu Yuan's urn tightened slightly. Mom, can I not stay with Dad anymore? Mi Cai stroked your head. Your father should go where he belongs. What if you spill him while carrying him? That would hurt him so much. Let us buy him a home. Whenever you miss him, you can still go see him. Perhaps those final words moved you. Your expression softened. You began studying the plot seriously. At last, your gaze landed on one photograph. The cemetery looked like a park. Beside it was a large field of white roses. Your eyes lit up as you said, Dad loved white roses most. Mi Cai nodded. She took you to the cemetery you had chosen. Passing a flower shop, she stopped. She turned and asked if you wanted to buy more flowers. You nodded your little head firmly. Yes. You carried Mu Yuan's urn with utmost care. Mi Cai happened to have a call to take, so she did not come with you. As you carefully picked out flowers, a shrill voice rang out. Why is it you again? You turned and saw Lin Baichuan. Liu Ruyan and Uncle Lin were beside him. Your little brows furrowed. At first, you did not want to speak to them. When Lin Baichuan saw you ignore him, anger flashed in his eyes. He saw you clutching that container tightly, as though it were your greatest treasure. A malicious glint flashed in his eyes. When you chose your flowers and started to leave, he suddenly stuck out his foot and tripped you. You crashed to the ground. The container flew from your hands. It smashed hard against the floor. White ashes scattered everywhere. You froze. Your face went pale. Ignoring your pain, you scrambled up and ran toward the broken urn. You tried to gather the ashes back inside. A gust of wind swept through, scattering the ashes. In panic, you spread your arms wide. Dad, do not go. Seeing you like this, Lin Baichuan's eyes gleamed with satisfaction. He deliberately walked over and kicked the ashes away. You trembled with rage. You reached out and shoved him. Do not touch my dad. Your shove knocked Lin Baichuan down. He burst into tears. Liu Ruyan happened to witness it. She walked over. Without a second thought, she kicked you. Who told you to push my son? Her kick landed squarely over your heart. Pain instantly drained all color from your little face. Yet your eyes stayed fixed on Liu Ruyan's foot. She was standing on Mu Yuan's ashes. Your tears came pouring down. You crawled toward her foot. Your little hands desperately pushed at her. Do not step on my dad. You are hurting him. The moment Mi Cai entered the flower shop, She saw this. Her mind went blank for a moment. Then she rushed forward and helped you up, seeing the footprint over your heart. Her eyes turned icy. She slapped Liu Ruyan hard across the face. Liu Ruyan never expected her to strike. Once she recovered, she hit her back. You lay on the ground, sobbing so hard you could barely breathe. Mi Cai's expression hardened. A slap sent Liu Ruyan sprawling to the ground. She looked coldly at Liu Ruyan. You animal, you kicked your own biological son, and you stepped on Mu Yuan's ashes. Do you have even a shred of humanity? Liu Ruyan went still at her words. Instinctively, she looked at you. Then her gaze fell upon the white powder on the ground. Her pupils contracted. It felt as though someone had gripped her heart in a fist. Just then, Baichuan began crying even louder. Mom, how dare you hit my mom? Do you know who my mom is? Shut up. Mi Cai whirled toward Baichuan. Say one more word, and I will rip out your tongue. She regretted taking that call. She should have come in with you. If she had been there, none of this would have happened. The wind grew stronger. She had no time to keep fighting Liu Ruyan. She took off her coat to shield the ashes from the wind. Together with you, she gathered the ashes from the ground. Tears fell, one by one, into the ashes. You hurriedly wiped away your tears. You did not want to dirty Mu Yuan, but the more you wiped, the more tears fell. Dad, I am sorry. I am useless. When your hand reached for a shard of the urn, Mi Cai hurriedly pulled you back. Watch your hands. She picked up the pieces for you. She wrapped all the ashes in her coat. Then she bought a new urn and placed them inside. As she watched them leave, Liu Ruyan's heart clenched even tighter. She did not know why she felt that way. Uncle Lin's eyes flickered. He gave Baichuan a meaningful look. Baichuan immediately began to cry. Mom, it hurts so much. A stone on the ground had cut his hand. It left a red mark. Liu Ruyan should have felt sorry for him. But then she noticed a trace of blood on the ground. It was that little boy's blood. Mi Cai also noticed you were bleeding. She cleaned your wound. You did not say a word. You only kept crying. Once Mu Yuan's ashes were buried, the moment the stone slab covered them, you suddenly wailed. Your tiny body lunged forward to. Dad, do not go. Do not leave me. You cried hysterically. Mi Cai's heart ached as she listened nearby. She was about to speak, when you suddenly clutched your chest. You coughed up blood. Your head lolled to one side, and you passed out. Mi Cai's face changed. She quickly caught you, only to find your body shaking violently. You curled into yourself, your lips trembling from the pain. You kept murmuring, Dad, I am sorry. When he learned you had been taken to the hospital, old Master Mi rushed over by car. Even Mi Li came with him. The moment he arrived, old Master Mi anxiously asked, What happened? Why did my precious child cough up blood? Mi Cai stood outside the operating room, her face filled with despair and guilt. She explained what had happened. The doctor said your heart had suffered a severe blow. It ruptured tiny blood vessels, and the intense emotional shock made you cough up blood. I am sorry. I did not protect Xiao. Unable to hold back, old Master Mi kicked Mi Cai twice. What call could have been so important? Why did you have to take it then? Old Madame Mi's brows were tightly furrowed too. What kind of grudge could she possibly have? Liu Ruyan had been so vicious. Mi Li clenched her fists. Her eyes were filled with frost. Liu Ruyan. Fine. A while later, the doctor emerged. Old Master Mi was the first to rush over. Doctor, how is my precious child? The doctor removed his mask, looking deeply displeased. Such a small child. How could you care for him like this? How could you hit a child? Seeing the bruise over your heart, old Master Mi was so furious he wanted to tear Liu Ruyan's heart out. Mi Cai lowered her head in guilt. For the first time, she felt completely helpless. Old Master Mi wanted to scold her too, but right now, he was more worried about you. Doctor, is my precious child all right? Seeing that his concern was genuine, the doctor's expression softened. It is nothing too serious, but he needs proper rest and care. Do not let the child suffer any more intense emotional distress. The doctor was puzzled. What had that little boy gone through? How had he been traumatized this badly? They gritted their teeth as they looked at your pale face. They cursed Liu Ruyan and all her ancestors in their hearts. That night, you developed a fever again. Your lips were pale. You kept calling out for Dad. The sight made everyone's heart ache. Mi Cai tended to him until dawn. At last, your fever broke, and you woke up. You called out weakly, Mom. Mi Cai took your tiny hand. Mom is here. I am sorry. Mom did not take good care of you. You gently shook your head. Before you could speak, tears streamed down your face, soaking your entire little face. Mi Cai felt as if someone had squeezed her heart. Silently, she wiped your face. When old Master Mi came to take over, Mi Cai washed her face, then drove straight to Liu Ruyan's company. Liu Ruyan was in the underground garage. The moment she stepped out of her car, a slap came flying at her. She dodged aside, then frowned at Mi Cai. What do you want now? Mi Cai said nothing. She struck even harder. Before long, she had pinned Liu Ruyan to the floor. Mi Cai's palm went straight for its target, slamming into Liu Ruyan's chest. A suffocating sensation hit her. Liu Ruyan's breathing stopped for a moment. Mi Cai's expression was dark. Her voice came through clenched teeth. Does it hurt? When you hit Xiao, it hurt him far more. With that, Mi Cai said no more. She struck her again. Only when she heard a crack did she stop. Then she turned and left. Ruyan lay on the ground, unable to say a word. A patrolling security guard found her and sent her to the hospital. When Mi Cai returned to the hospital, Mi Li was at the entrance. She slightly raised her eyes. She glanced at Mi Cai's hand but did not ask. She only said, "I sent you the software you wanted. If anything needs changing, come to me." Since she had fallen ill, this was the first time she had voluntarily involved herself in Mi group affairs. They both knew the reason without saying it. Anyone who wanted to bully a member of the Mi family would have to pay the price. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Lin Yuanzhou looked at Liu Ruyan with concern. "What happened? Who did this to you?" Liu Ruyan gave a light cough and changed the subject. He had probably guessed already. Mi Cai had beaten her because she kicked that little boy. She had indeed acted too impulsively, so he did not intend to pursue the matter further. Since Liu Ruyan would not say anything, Lin Yuanzhou could not press her further. He simply had someone obtain the garage surveillance footage. When he saw Mi Cai was the one who attacked her, and recalled what happened at the flower shop that day, he immediately understood. A while later, Lin Baichuan arrived too. He leaned over the bedside, crying as he looked at Liu Ruyan. Lin Yuanzhou said from nearby, Chuan, be careful with your injuries too. Do not reopen them." Liu Ruyan turned and saw Lin Baichuan's bandaged hand. Her guilt toward that little boy suddenly did not feel so strong anymore. No matter what, that little boy had struck first, so she could not be blamed. If Mi Cai knew what she was thinking, she would regret going easy on her. "You spent a week in the hospital before being discharged. Your already thin little face had grown even gaunter. You looked listless and drained." When they saw their little brother had returned, Mi Chen and Mi Shi immediately ran over. They each took one of your hands, their faces full of worry. "Little brother, are you feeling better?" You felt a little embarrassed. Forcing yourself to sound cheerful, you said, "Much better. I am fine now." Your two sisters tenderly touched your little face. They led you to the dining table, wishing they could make you eat every dish on the table. At least you could put on some weight. You obediently thanked them and did your best to eat, but you still looked downhearted. After dinner, you were watching television on the couch with old Master Mi. Mi Cai suddenly walked over and handed you a box. You looked at her in confusion. Mi Cai said it was a gift for leaving the hospital. Curiously, you opened it. When you saw what was inside, your little face froze. Inside was a photograph. The man in it wore a suit. He was very handsome, smiling brilliantly at the camera. It was Mu Yuan. You carefully took it out. Your little hand traced his face. You were both shocked and overjoyed. Your sparkling eyes turned toward Mi Cai. Mi Cai gave a soft cough. Your aunt found this photograph. Then she added, "I bought the frame. Consider it my apology." Mi Cai lovingly stroked your head. "I am sorry. I did not protect you. I let someone hurt you. It will never happen again." You shook your head over and over. You nuzzled your little face against her palm. "It is not Mom's fault. Mom is a good person." Then you looked at Mi Li. You gave her a smile and said brightly, "Thank you, Annie." Mi Li looked at you for a few moments longer. Only then did she coolly turn away. She did not say a word and returned to her room. Mi Cai, cool on the outside, but soft-hearted underneath, silently rolled her eyes. She lowered her gaze to you. "Are you happy?" You nodded your little head. Your eyes never left the photograph. "I have never seen Dad smile so happily." "Mom, where did you get this picture?" Mi Cai caught her breath. She had originally wanted to find photos online, but everything online about Mu Yuan was negative news. She found this photo on Mu Yuan's university website. When you saw she did not answer, you did not ask further. You held the photo against your heart. Grandpa said that when people die, they are reborn. You hoped Dad would have a good next life and be happier there. That night, you slept with the photo in your arms. For once, you slept well. When old Master Mi learned of it, he had a pillow made with the photograph overnight. By the time you woke, it was already on your bed. The instant you opened your eyes, you blinked in disbelief, thinking you were still dreaming. Hearing movement, old Master Mi opened the door. He found you clutching the pillow and refusing to let go. He could not help smiling. "Do you like it?" You blinked your eyes. "Did you make it, Grandpa?" The old man shook his head. "Grandpa does not have those skills. Your second aunt made it." A gentle face appeared in your mind. You nodded your little head eagerly. "I like it. I really like it." You looked at the pillow, and your eyes reddened again. You threw yourself into old Master Mi's arms. "Grandpa, thank you all." Old Master Mi stroked your little face. "My precious child, if you want to cry, then cry. Do not hold it in." Your eyes were bright red, but you shook your head. Looking up at him, you said, "I will not cry. I have a home now." You said with a smile. You gave him a smile, so sweet and gentle. Old Master Mi could not resist leaning over to kiss you. Once you had fully recovered, you took your two sisters out to collect recyclables for money again. Mi Li was paid less than 50 yuan, yet worked around the clock, 7 days a week. That mother and son were truly her nemesis. Even when her legs were fine, she had never worked this hard. Cursing inwardly, Mi Li typed furiously. She sent Mi Cai the 9th version of the program she had written. Half a month later, Mi Cai returned to work. Shenghao Technology was also holding its celebration today. Mi Cai curled her lips and pinched your little cheek. Let us go. I will take you to watch the show. Half an hour later, outside a 5-star hotel, Mi Cai stepped out with you in her arms. Shenghao Technology's celebration was being held here. They had even sent her an invitation. Their meaning was obvious. They were provoking Mi Cai. But did they really have what it took? As she spoke, Xiao Jianren approached. President Mi, thank you for honoring us with your presence. After all, I owe my success today to your help. Mi Cai did not even spare him a glance. But you frowned at him. You asked Mi Cai, Mom, is he paying today? When Mi Cai nodded, you gave Xiao Jianren an adorably fierce glare. Then you pulled Mi Cai toward the buffet. You opened your little mouth, waving your tiny arms, and said childishly, Mom, eat that big bad guy out of house and home. Mi Cai could not hold back her laughter. How could her son be so adorable? Not far away, Ruyan saw the mother and son. Seeing how close you and Mi Cai were, Ruyan felt inexplicably irritated. She had no idea where the feeling came from. As she pondered it, Mumu came out as well. She looked around at the guests and said with a smile, Thank you all for attending Shenghao Technology's celebration. We will need your support in many ways going forward. So, I hope you will continue to help us. The guest readily echoed her. After all, Shenghao had been on a roll lately. Its orders were booked through the year after next, and its stock had soared. For a time, Ruyan, Ryan, and Xiao Jianren became the most sought-after people there. Everyone gathered around them, showering them with endless flattery. Xiao Jianren was growing intoxicated by the praise. He could not help looking toward Mi Cai again, but he found Mi Cai feeding you. The two of you looked peaceful and content. Xiao Jianren secretly clenched his back teeth. His eyes flickered. Then he suddenly spoke. I heard President Mi has also been working on robotics research. How far has it come? Unhurriedly, Mi Cai wiped the cream from the corner of your mouth. Only then did she raise her eyes to him. Her lips curved faintly. What a coincidence. Mi Group is launching a new product today, too. Since everyone is here, I will borrow your venue to introduce it. Mi Cai snapped her fingers. A little robot then walked in. It looked a lot like you. Mi Cai said, This is our newly developed robot. Its name is Mumu. It represents the hope that, once you have it, you will stay healthy day in, day out. She continued introducing the robot. It truly combines prevention, diagnosis, treatment, and rehabilitation. At those words, everyone looked toward Mumu and her group. Those basic functions were the main features of Shenghao's new robot. Muyan's expression changed as she looked at Xiao Jianren. What is going on? Xiao Jianren stepped forward to demand. I only left Mi Group recently. How could you possibly develop a robot in such a short time? Are you trying to fool us? Mi Cai gave him a cool glance. Who do you think you are? Do you think you're worthy of being my joke? Xiao Jianren's face flushed crimson. Mi Cai smiled scornfully and said, Talk is cheap. I will show you. She pressed a button on Mumu. The robot spoke in an adorable mechanical voice. Beginning scan. You covered your little mouth in delight. It was your voice. Luoyang gave a soft snort. I never knew that damn niece of mine could do this. She is quite good at making little boys happy. In less than 3 seconds, Mumu completed its scan. Then it printed a medical report. The man it had scanned picked it up and glanced over it curiously. Presidently, are you playing some kind of joke on me? It says I have a brain tumor. I was scanned by Shenghao's robot just now, too. It said I was fine. The man was impatient, so he went straight to a major nearby hospital for test. Not long after, he returned and rushed straight to Mi Cai. You saved my life. The doctor said I really have brain cancer, but it is still early stage. Routine checkups rarely catch it. Everyone gasped at that. What Shenghao had failed to detect was found by Mi Group's robot in mere seconds. Did that not make Mi Group superior? Someone could not wait any longer and asked, Mi Cai, can I try it too? Mi Cai smiled. Please, be my guest. The crowd immediately gathered around. Those whose scans found issues took their reports to the hospital. Every person who returned looked delighted. Mumu's reports were even more detailed than the hospital's. They even included treatment plans and recommended doctors. In an instant, Mi Cai became the center of the crowd. Xiao Jianren's expression grew uglier by the second. A group came over demanding refunds. Everyone here had placed major orders with Shenghao. If they all cancelled, Shenghao would lose several hundred million. Xiao Jianren staggered back to steps. His face turned pale. Sweat instantly beaded on his forehead. Mumu looked equally grim. She said, Everyone, let us discuss any concerns in detail. The man who had just undergone the scan waved dismissively. There is nothing to discuss. I do not want yours anymore. I want to buy Mi Cai's Mumu robot. The moment he finished speaking, a crowd rushed to Mi Cai, competing for her attention. Muyan's group, meanwhile, was abandoned in an instant. She could no longer maintain her composure. Furious, She stormed away. Your little face reddened with excitement. You looked at Mi Cai with pure admiration. You knew Mom was the best. Seeing her son's expression, Mi Cai was in a wonderful mood. She announced, everyone here today may purchase 10 units each. 1 million yuan per unit. The guests exchanged looks. That is far too cheap. Can you even make a profit? You should not take a loss. We all know the development costs for this kind of technology are enormous. Mi Cai shook her head. It is fine. Consider it good karma for my son. If Mi Li, who had slaved away for more than 10 days, had been there, she would have cursed Mi Cai to death. She had worked herself into getting dark circles, yet her total pay was less than 100 yuan. No one had expected Shenghao's celebration to become Mi Cai's product launch. Shenghao even paid for the venue and the bill. After everyone had left, Ruyan remained. She did not know why she had stayed. Her gaze settled on you as she slowly approached. You noticed her too. Your little face went pale with fright. You immediately turned and hid in Mi Cai's arms. You wrapped yourself tightly in her clothes. Ruyan looked up. His face suddenly turned cold. One hand rested protectively on your little head, while the other gently patted your back. Yuan said coldly. The moment he saw Ruyan, he did not want to say a word. He only wanted to beat her up again. She had gone too easy on her last time. It had only been a few days, yet she was already well enough to get out and about. In truth, Ruyan had forced herself to come today. Seeing how frightened you were of her, she stood there a moment before leaving. Safe in Mi Cai's arms, you gradually grew braver. You secretly glanced back. Only after seeing Ruyan leave did you breathe a sigh of relief. Mi Cai tenderly stroked your little face and asked, still hungry? You rubbed your round little belly, sucking it in as you tried to encourage yourself. Looking at your plump belly, you reluctantly said, Mom, can we take these home? Technically, that was not allowed. But Mi Cai was never one to follow rules. She lifted her chin and called over a server. Pack all of this up from me. Put it on President Lin of Shenghao's tab. You hurriedly added, can I have these empty wine bottles? I can sell them for money. The server awkwardly asked the manager for approval. When the manager saw that terrifying woman, he immediately came to pack everything himself. You could offend anyone, but never her. In the end, mother and son went home with a whole carload of things. Once home, you scampered into Mi Li's room. You sweetly said, Annie, the puppet you made is so pretty. It looks just like me. I love it so much. You are the best, Annie. Mi Li was speechless. Just half a month ago, this little brat barely spoke. One glare from her used to scare you silly. Now, even when her eyes ached from glaring, it did no good. You were not afraid at all. You even dared smile at her. You gathered your courage and popped some of the food you brought back into Mi Li's mouth. Then you whispered mysteriously, Annie, the big bad guy paid for this. Let us eat lots. We will eat the big bad guy broke. Mi Li furrowed her brow. She recalled the security footage, where you had boldly declared you would eat Mu Yanyan broke, only to be full after one tiny slice of cake. She could not help but chuckle. What a little fool. Fine. She would reluctantly eat a little extra for you. After dinner, you said, Annie, let us go for a walk. Mi Li's breath caught. She instinctively glanced at her legs and said coldly, no. What was the point of someone disabled like her going out? She would still be sitting in a wheelchair. It would be no different from sitting at home. A self-mocking smile tugged at Mi Li's lips. Your heart ached at the sight. You hugged her arm and pleaded softly, please go, Annie. Just keep me company. Just as you were beginning to worry, Mi Cai suddenly entered. Without a word, she lifted Mi Li into her wheelchair and pushed her out of the room. The moment you stepped outside, you rode your little bike up beside her. Annie, let us race. I will count to 3. As soon as you said it, your short little legs pedaled hard, and you shot off. Your eyes sparkled with mischief. That little rascal was getting naughtier by the day under Mi Cai's influence. Mi Li thought to herself. Then she steered her electric wheelchair and caught up to you in seconds. She glanced back at your little legs and clicked her tongue. She did not say a word, but somehow, you felt utterly looked down on. You went, yeah, to spur yourself on, pedaling with all your might. Whenever you were about to catch up, Mi Li would press a button on her wheelchair. After she did this several times, your little face turned red from the effort. You said Annie's legs were injured. Could she not walk? How could she go so fast? Mi Li watched your silly expression, amusement glinting in her eyes. She did not think bullying a child was shameful in the slightest. The adult and child were having great fun, when a cold rebuke suddenly sounded nearby. Mu Yanyan said coldly, you seem to be having fun. I wonder if you looked this pleased when you took the money. The smile vanished from Mi Li's face. You turned to look. Mu Yanyan stood with her hands in her pockets, her face full of scorn. A female police officer stood beside her, watching Mi Li with a conflicted look. A nearby pine tree swayed and said, another show is about to begin. That police officer is Mi Li's best friend. Yet now she is hanging around with Mi Li's sworn enemy, Mu Yanyan. This will be interesting. Hearing that, you glared fiercely at Zhao Faiyan. You spread your little arms to shield Mi Li. When she saw you glaring at her, Zhao Faiyan was bewildered. She had not offended this little boy, had she? Mu Yanyan glanced at you, recognizing you as Mi Cai's son. She snorted. She had a terrible impression of you. The hotel staff told her that after she left that day, you and your mother had actually packed up the food, then charged it to her. How shameless. Mi Li had been somewhat tense, but seeing you like this, she suddenly relaxed. She leaned back and gently patted your shoulder. Come on, we are going home. Seeing the two about to leave, Zhao Faiyan could not wait any longer. She stepped forward and blocked Mi Li's path. Li, Lin Nian recovered the surveillance footage Jia Yu deleted. On the day Yu Jin died, Jia Yu did go to his home. They even had a fierce argument. Jia Yu's fingerprints were found there as well. The chain of evidence is complete. Mi Li paused, then said calmly, my forensic conclusion is this. Yu Jin died by suicide. Zhao Faiyan was growing frantic, but even Jia Yu herself admitted it. She said she killed Yu Jin. Why else would she destroy the surveillance footage? Is that not obvious proof of guilt? Mi Li's expression remained unchanged. I am a forensic pathologist. I draw conclusions from the body alone. Mu Yanyan scoffed coldly. As long as the money is right, changing the conclusion is as easy as lifting a finger for you. Yu Jin just landed a 1 billion yuan deal. Why would he kill himself then? He would have to be insane. If you are staging this, at least make it believable. Before Mi Li could respond, you suddenly rushed over, hopping up to cover Mu Yanyan's mouth. You did not want her saying bad things about Annie, but you found you could not reach her. So, you simply opened wide and bit her leg. Mu Yanyan cried out in pain, then instinctively kicked you away. She said in disgust, get lost. Seeing you kicked to the ground, Mi Li's face suddenly darkened. She wheeled herself over and strained to reach for you, trying to lift you up. But not only could she not lift you, she fell from her wheelchair herself. She landed on the ground in disarray. When you saw that, you forced yourself to get back up. Your little hands grabbed her arm, trying to pull Mi Li up. Annie, are you okay? Mi Li looked at her own legs, her face utterly lifeless. Once again, she felt completely useless. She had once blamed Mi Cai for failing to protect you, but when it came to herself, she could only watch helplessly as you were bullied. What use was there in her being alive? Your little face reddened from straining, but you could not move her even an inch. Feeling her despair, you panicked. Tears began to fall. You kept calling for Annie. Zhao Faiyan's eyes stung at the sight. Without a word, she lifted Mi Li up. Feeling how light Mi Li was, she thought, why is she so light? You quickly picked up the blanket and covered Mi Li with it. Mu Yanyan folded her arms and sneered. Useless people should stay at home. Stop coming out and making a spectacle of yourself. Angrily, you grabbed the pebble from the ground and hurled it at her. Take that, bad guy. Do not talk about my Annie. Struck by the pebble, Mu Yanyan glared at you darkly. You little brat. Do not think I will not hit a child. You rubbed where she had kicked you, then silently picked up a larger stone and threw it at her. Mu Yanyan angrily rolled up her sleeves. Zhao Faiyan hurriedly scooped you up, then pushed the wheelchair away as fast as she could. Why does everyone in this family have a temper hotter than the last? After taking you both to the Mi residence, she glanced at Mi Li. Seeing that Mi Li did not want to speak to her, she sighed. Just as she was about to leave, something suddenly latched onto her leg. You clung to her leg and said stubbornly, Annie, my auntie is a good person. She did not take any money. Zhao Faiyan answered without hesitation. I know exactly what kind of person Mi Li is. Better than anyone. With her abilities, making money would be as easy as lifting a finger. She would never need to suffer for it. You stared at her for a long moment. Once you were sure she was not lying, you finally let go of her. You no longer looked at her quite so fiercely. You even poured her a glass of water. Annie, have a seat. Zhao Faiyan plopped down on the sofa. She glanced at Mi Li again. After all, it was Mi Li's nephew who had asked her to. Mi Li could not throw her out again. Some color returned to Mi Li's expression. Zhao Faiyan quickly said, although Yu Jin had admitted that he was the killer, I still feel something is not right. Li, will you come back to the scene with me and take another look? Before Mi Li could answer, you raised your little hand and answered for her. Mi Li shot you a glance. You are getting bolder by the day. You gave her a placating smile. Annie must care a lot about this. Otherwise, she would not have reacted that way earlier. You did not want Annie to be wrongly accused, either. Soon, you arrived at the scene. Since the case remained unsolved, everything had been left untouched. Seeing the blood on the floor, you nervously hid behind Mi Li. Mi Li gave a quiet snort. How were you not afraid when you were egging her into coming here earlier? Though that was what she thought. Her hands honestly pushed you back outside. You obediently sat on the steps and waited for them to come out. Listening to their discussion inside, you heard nothing but technical terms. You could not understand a word. Just as your gaze went blank, you suddenly heard the big tree nearby say, well, is that not the female forensic doctor doctor from last time. Why is she in a wheelchair now? That police officer has come here many times. She always thought Jia you killed Eugene. Only that forensic doctor realized Eugene took his own life. She is quite capable. Your eyes lit up at that. You immediately ran over and asked, Mr. Tree, do you know how that man named Eugene killed himself? The tree was surprised. This little boy could understand him. Proudly, he said, of course I do. There is nothing within miles of here that I do not know. You cupped your little face and looked at him admiringly. Wow, that is amazing. The tree practically swelled with pride. He chattered away, telling you everything he had seen. You listened closely, your little face gradually turning serious. Inside the room, Zhao Feiyan said Qian's wounds did indeed match suicide, but why would he take his own life? And why did Jia you confess to killing him? Just then, you suddenly ran inside. Raising your little hand, you said, because the Annie who died had a very serious illness. It could not be cured. He even slipped something into the wine that Annie drank. It made her think she had killed him. Mi Li's eyes shifted slightly at those words. Jia you had indeed drunk wine that day. But how did you know? You pointed at the tree and said, Mr. Tree told me. Trees can talk. Mi Li was puzzled. But if Eugene really had a serious illness, then killing himself and framing Jia you did make sense. Their two companies had always been bitter rivals. Ever since this happened, the Jia family's stock had plummeted. They had already begun bankruptcy liquidation. Mi Li looked toward the wine rack. If that was the case, the tampered wine should still be here. Which bottle is it? The big tree outside the window swayed again. You immediately pointed with your little hand. Annie, the red one at the very back. Zhao Feiyan immediately took it down. Mi Li gave it a sniff. Her expression changed, and she quickly put the cap back on. This smell is wrong. Her second sister loves collecting wine. She happens to have this red wine too. It does not smell like this. Seeing she was not joking, Zhao Feiyan immediately began investigating. An hour later, Zhao Feiyan called. She said excitedly, there really was something in the wine. It was a hallucinogen. Mi Li gave a quiet hum. She could not help glancing at you. Planting flowers with old Manami. That little boy had actually been right. She tapped her phone, sending Zhao Feiyan a set of documents. They included Qian's terminal cancer diagnosis, along with his will. The will had been made 3 months earlier, the very day he was diagnosed. After Zhao Feiyan saw the documents, she immediately brought Qian's son in for questioning. Faced with the evidence, he finally explained what had happened. As for the claim that Mi Li had taken bribes, that had also been his deliberate setup to keep the truth hidden. Zhao Feiyan called Mi Li. She relayed every word to her. At the end, she said, Li, your name can finally be cleared. You can return to the unit. Mi Li silently ended the call. She looked at her legs, her lips curving in self-mockery. Could she really go back? Just then, you opened the door and walked in. A rare smile appeared on Mi Li's face. She beckoned you over. Everything you said today came from the big tree. You nodded your little head. Yes, yes. Besides Mr. Tree, I can hear Brother Rose, Brother Orchid, and Brother Camellia too. You counted on your fingers with a solemn expression. Mi Li more or less understood. Whenever a plant spoke, you could understand it. Your voice suddenly grew quieter. You quietly took 2 steps back, swallowed hard, and nervously asked, Annie, what is it? Mi Li fought to suppress the urge to whisk you away and study you. She cleared her throat and looked away. Nothing. Feiyan said she wants to treat you to dinner tomorrow. Do you want to go? You nodded your little head vigorously. Yes. At breakfast the next day, you would not eat. Only drink water. Old Master Mi asked worriedly. What is wrong, sweetheart? Do you feel sick? You quickly shook your head. You secretly glanced at Mi Li. Rubbing your tummy, you whispered. Annie said, Annie Zhao is treating us to dinner. Old Master Mi asked in confusion. You are meeting for dinner. What does that have to do with breakfast? Seeing Grandpa did not understand. You explained anxiously. If I eat less in the morning, I can eat more tonight. Back in the neighborhood where I lived, people held all-day banquets. Everyone did this. Old Master Mi burst out laughing. He pinched your little cheek. Oh my, sweetheart, how can you be so adorable? Caught off guard by the praise, you looked a little dazed. Your little face turned rosy. Then you smiled goofily along with him. Mi Cai smiled as she watched her youngest son. She glanced at Mi Li, looking displeased. What kind of lousy best friend is that? Why not treat you to every meal for the whole day? Mi Li rolled her eyes at him. She handed you a piece of bread. If you get too hungry, you will eat even less. Tilting your little head, you thought it over. Annie must be right. You held the bread, taking tiny bites. Before leaving, you stuffed several clean bags into your little bag. You could pack up any leftovers to bring home. Mi Li noticed, but said nothing. Soon, you arrived at the place Zhao Feiyan had chosen. You huffed and puffed as you pushed the wheelchair from behind. Your little face was red with effort. Meanwhile, Mi Li, she leaned back like an old granny. She never told you it was an electric wheelchair. She even looked back now and then to urge, push harder. She was a regular slave driver. Zhao Feiyan saw this the moment she opened the door. She was speechless. Inside the private room, Mu Yanyan saw it too. Watching your innocent, goofy expression. Mu Yuan's face inexplicably flashed through her mind. He had once been this foolish too. When you looked up, you saw Mu Yanyan was there as well. Your little brows furrowed, displeasure flashing in your eyes. That made you look even more like Mu Yuan. Mu Yanyan's mood suddenly soured. She picked up the wine on the table and drained it in one gulp, forcing down her irritation. Mi Li shot her a glance, then looked at the guilty Zhao Feiyan. She asked coldly, "What is this supposed to mean?" Zhao Feiyan cleared her throat. She rubbed her hands together. Well, the unit has been working with Lin Nian lately, so I invited him to join us. You do not mind, do you?" Without a word, Mi Li turned and left. You kept huffing as you pushed her wheelchair. You did not want to eat with the big bad guy either. Just then, Mu Yanyan suddenly spoke. "This meal is on me." You stopped short. You looked at Mi Li, then kept pushing her forward. Now Mi Li was the surprised one. She turned to you and said, "You will not even eat a free meal." You shook your little head, pouting. You said unhappily, "She bullies Annie. Annie will be unhappy if she sees her. Annie matters more." She had not expected you to say that. Mi Li froze for a moment, then her lips curved upward, and she let out a soft laugh. She pressed a button on her electric wheelchair and turned it around. She led you back toward the private room. "Come on, why turn down a free meal?" Mu Yanyan looked at Mi Li as she returned. "Congratulations. You beat me again. That Mumu robot cost me over 3 billion yuan. This eternal runner-up still lost in the end." As she said those last words, she gritted her teeth. She and Mi Li were the same age. Ever since childhood, Mi Li had always been first, while she had always been second. She thought that once Mi Li became a forensic examiner, and she went into business, their paths would never cross again. Who would have thought that Mi Li, an outsider, could casually write a program and utterly crush her, the professional? Mi Li raised an eyebrow slightly, puzzled. "How are you an eternal runner-up? Are not my eldest, second, and third sisters all better than you? You should be the eternal." She counted on her fingers, looking unable to work it out. You quickly raised your little hand and said, "The eternal 5th place." After saying that, you looked up at Mi Li with delight. Your eyes sparkled. You waited for praise. Mi Li burst out laughing. She patted your little head. "Very smart." Your eyes curved into little crescents. Mu Yanyan's face darkened. Zhao Feiyan nearly spat out her drink. She awkwardly tried to smooth things over. Let us eat. Let us eat. No work talk during our break." You secretly glared at her. You had almost forgiven her, but then she made Annie eat with the big bad guy. Zhao Feiyan felt terribly wronged. She had not planned to invite Mu Yanyan, but she had run into Mu Yanyan just now. When Mu Yanyan learned Zhao Feiyan was treating Mi Li and you to dinner, she insisted on staying. Zhao Feiyan could hardly throw her out. Mu Yanyan had come specifically to mock Mi Li. She looked at Mi Li and said with a smile, "Mi Li, have you had Mumu check out your legs? Even Elder Bai cannot cure them. Maybe the Mumu you invented can." Zhao Feiyan's heart sank. Ever since the car accident, Mi Li's legs had been a forbidden subject, and Elder Bai, whom Mu Yanyan mentioned, was widely recognized as the nation's finest doctor. He was also Mi Li's attending physician. Yet there had been no improvement. No matter how capable Mumu was, it could not surpass Elder Bai. Mu Yanyan was clearly saying Mi Li would be crippled for life. Just as Zhao Feiyan wondered how to diffuse things, you suddenly picked up your cup and splashed its contents at Mu Yanyan. Water dripped down Mu Yanyan's face. Her smile vanished instantly. "You little brat, are you tired of living?" You could not help shrinking back. But 1 second later, you found your courage again. You spread your little arms to shield Mi Li, baring your teeth at Mu Yanyan. "Do not bully my Annie." Though your legs trembled with fear, your eyes were full of resolve. Seeing you like this, Mu Yuan's face suddenly flashed through Mu Yanyan's mind again. Irritated, she stood. She strode out. Her assistant was startled to see the water on her face. "President Mu, what happened?" Mu Yanyan tugged at her shoulder strap and asked, "How is that man doing?" The assistant looked confused. "Did you not say to leave him alone?" Mu Yanyan's expression froze. She had indeed said that a month ago. Then she remembered something. Her face grew colder, and her voice was icy. "Leave him alone. Do not tell me anything about him ever again." Irritated, Mu Yanyan kicked the car. Her assistant was already used to seeing her like this. Back when the young master was still with the Mu family, he could keep her in check. But after he left the Mu family, Mu Yanyan's temper grew worse and worse. She had once been closest to the young master, yet now, their relationship was the worst. Every time they met, they hurled cruel words at each other. No one knew how things between them had come to this. Perhaps it was because they were not related by blood. After all, they were not truly siblings. Back in the private room, Mi Li pinched your little cheeks. "Why were you so fierce?" The moment she finished speaking, your legs went weak, and you sat down on the floor. "That big bad guy. She looked like she wanted to strangle you just now." Mi Li lifted you up, utterly speechless. She scolded you in exasperation. "What is there to fear about an eternal runner-up?" You corrected her in a trembling voice. "Annie is the eternal 5th place." Mi Li was so exasperated she almost laughed. "So, you are afraid of Mu Yanyan. but not of her? Is there something wrong with that little head of yours? Zhao Feiyan was beginning to wonder the same thing. She looked at you with something close to admiration. No matter how terrible Mu Yanyan's temper was, she was still nothing more than a mad dog. Mi Li was the truly sharp-tongued one. How could this kid possibly not be afraid of her? Mi Li was puzzled by that too. She could not help asking. After hearing her, you blinked, whereupon your little brows and looked thoroughly displeased. How is Annie fierce? Annie is so gentle. Zhao Feiyan slapped her forehead. This kid is hopeless. You should get your eyes checked at the hospital. That night, just after Mi Li lay down, a little bundle rolled toward her with a rumble. You crawled out from under the covers and gave her a sweet, well-behaved smile. Mi Li stared at you, speechless. What is it? You tugged at her clothes and asked softly. Annie, you and that big bad guy from today, did you grow up together? Mi Li answered. You could say that. We were in the same class the whole time. Why? Then do you know my father? Too? That big bad guy looks about the same age as Dad. If you are close to him, you must have met my father too. Looking into your expectant eyes, Mi Li realized that you wanted to ask about Mu Yuan. In truth, she was not close to Mu Yuan. Mu Yuan and Mu Yanyan were twins, a brother and sister. Mu Yuan had simply been switched at birth. Mu Yuan had not done well in school, and their school divided students by academic performance, so her classroom had been far from Mu Yuan's. Her impression of Mu Yuan was merely that of a handsome, empty-headed pretty boy. He spent all day trailing after the Ruyan, completely unfazed by her cold attitude. Mu Yuan and Mu Yanyan actually got along quite well. They used to bicker and play around. Despite Mu Yanyan's vicious temper, she was surprisingly well behaved around him. If she had not searched for photos of him for you earlier, she might have forgotten that they had been schoolmates, too. Mi Li paused when she met your gaze, then said, I suppose I knew him. Your eyes lit up. You moved even closer. Then Annie, can you tell me about Dad? All right, Mi Li replied flatly. Your dad was quite handsome. He was the most handsome guy in our school. You blinked. You waited for quite a while. When she did not continue, you asked in confusion, what else? He was also the most beautiful student in their school. Everyone said he was Liu Ryan's most devoted lapdog. Mi Li could not bring herself to say that. After thinking for a moment, she added, he was also a good dancer. At that, she picked up her phone and tapped it several times. She found a video and played it for you. Mi Li had found it while searching for photos earlier. It showed Mu Yuan performing a solo dance at a school anniversary celebration. Your attention was captured instantly. Mu Yuan was dressed all in white, executing one difficult move after another with effortless grace. He was so handsome you could not look away. Dad is so handsome, you exclaimed without thinking. Your little hand gently stroked the screen. Then you saw someone walking toward Mu Yuan with flowers. It was actually Mu Yuan Zhou. He put an arm around Mu Yuan's shoulders, his face filled with pride. He looked as though Mu Yuan's success honored him too. So the uncle who had told you and Dad to die had once treated Dad so kindly? You felt dazed. Your little mind struggled to make sense of it. Confused, you asked. Then why did they become so cruel to Dad? Why did Dad and I always have to live in that shabby little house out there? Why did Dad cry every time he saw them? Why did Dad never dance again? Why would he not even accept Dad's ashes and wanted to throw them away? Mi Li was at a loss for words. She did not know how to explain what Mu Yuan had done later. I heard Uncle Mu was also a good dancer. During the school celebration in his final year, he had earned the chance to perform a solo, but Mu Yuan, out of jealousy, put thumbtacks inside his shoes. Uncle Lin was injured because of it, so Uncle Lin went on as the substitute and performed the solo. Later, the truth came to light. The Lin family was furious. Lin Yuanzhou personally took a steel needle and drove it into the sole of Mu Yuan's foot to avenge his own biological younger sister. But how could Mi Li tell you any of this? How could she tell a little boy that his father was a bad person? That would be far too cruel for a child. After speaking, you lowered your head. Without waiting for her answer, you kept staring at the video. Before long, you fell asleep. You were still clutching the phone. Mi Li breathed a sigh of relief. She would have to lock the door when she slept from now on. She could not survive a child's endless questions. It was better to leave this for Mi Cai to explain herself. During breakfast the next morning, old Master Mi suddenly asked, Ali, you are supposed to have acupuncture at Elder Bai's today. The moment he said this, the atmosphere suddenly grew cold. Mi Li said flatly, I am not going. Elder Bai said last time that my legs could not be saved. Old Master Mi knew she would say that, his face filled with worry. Then his eyes shifted when his gaze fell on you. Sweetheart, would you like Annie to stand up and play with you? You pictured it for a moment. Tilting your little head, you said, Annie can play with me while sitting down. We even played soccer before, and we won. You added excitedly. Mi Li's face suddenly darkened. Mi Young glanced at her and nodded. No need to treat her. It is even better if she cannot be cured. When you play soccer in the future, she can guard the goal. You will win every time. Making it to the World Cup will be no problem. You did not understand and took it as praise for both of you. You nodded your little head vigorously. Annie is amazing. Mi Chen and Mi Shi twisted the knife further. Then let us go play soccer again later. You were just about to nod when Mi Li said through gritted teeth, we cannot go. I have to see a doctor. You stared at her in confusion. Did Annie not just say she was not going? You heard wrong, Mi Li said without expression. You sighed with disappointment. All right, then. We can play when Annie gets back. Mi Li's face turned livid. We are not playing at all. She will definitely be able to stand again. Old Master Mi grinned from ear to ear. Everyone has someone who can keep them in line. After breakfast, he hurriedly had the driver load Mi Li into the car. He put you in as well. Keep your Annie company. Mi Li knew exactly what her father was doing. Even if she wanted to stand again, she still had to be curable. At that thought, her spirits sank again. Just then, she saw you pull out a soccer ball. Her eyelid twitched. Why did you bring that to? You answered sweetly. Second sister and third sister said I should practice more. Annie, can you play with me? Mi Li's petite body jolted. She instantly abandoned any thought of backing out. She told the driver, drive. Now, as long as there was a sliver of hope, she could still live like a normal person, instead of becoming a little brat's cheating tool. Soon, you arrived at Elder Bai's home. It was an old residence at the foot of a mountain, full of antique charm. Many medicinal herbs were drying in the courtyard. An old man with a white beard stood beside them. You looked at him curiously. Hearing the commotion, Elder Bai turned and glanced over. He snorted coldly and said sarcastically, well, you came. Still alive, I see. What a piece of work. He had only said he needed to adjust her prescription. Yet Mi Li decided she was beyond saving and went home to attempt suicide. As a physician, what he hated most were people who did not value their own lives. Mi Li was unusually well behaved around him, but Elder Bai still did not like her. He did not invite her inside, just left her waiting there while he tended his herb garden. Elder Bai's herb garden resembled old Master Mi's flower garden. It felt familiar to you, and you could not help running over. Elder Bai saw that you were not touching things carelessly. Your hands stayed still. You had not pulled up the cordyceps he had painstakingly grown, so he left you alone. He carefully tended his precious herbs, while you followed behind, chattering away. When Elder Bai turned around, he found you squatting down, chatting eagerly with the cordyceps, as if you were talking to people. Kids really were amusing. But 2 days later, when he entered the herb garden, his gaze swept over one spot and suddenly froze. He hurried over for a closer look and examined it carefully. The cordyceps had grown much fuller, leaving him astonished. How had they grown so well? It was not just the cordyceps. The other herbs were also far healthier than 2 days ago. This was the area where you usually played. A suspicion quietly formed in his mind. When you came again, he called you over and had you play where the ginseng was growing, while secretly observing you. Sure enough, the ginseng you had tended grew far better than the plants you had not touched. He inspected them closely. Even their medicinal potency had improved. This little boy was extraordinary. He was born to cultivate medicinal herbs. Mi Li soon noticed that Elder Bai's attitude toward her had improved greatly. He even began smiling at her, but she had a bad feeling about it. Wariness in her voice, she said, Elder Bai, just say what you want. Elder Bai gave a light cough. Come, let me check your pulse. After taking her pulse, instead of scolding her as usual for not taking her medicine, he unexpectedly fussed over her health. Oh, dear, your body is terribly depleted. You need proper care. You must restore your health first. Otherwise, I will not dare give you strong medicine. Then your leg truly will not recover. How about this? Until your body recovers, you should stay here. Hearing that, Mi Li's frown deepened. She knew Elder Bai was not an easygoing man and disliked being disturbed. Yet he was offering to let her stay here. Something was clearly off. When you heard their conversation, you dropped the flowers in your hands and ran over. You asked excitedly, can Annie really get better? Elder Bai glanced at you, stroking his beard. That is right. It will just take a little longer. Mi Li noticed Elder Bai's eyes light up, so that was why Elder Bai had suddenly become so kind to her. He had his eyes on you. Her gaze swept toward the herb garden. The herbs were visibly taller than when they first arrived. She understood at once. Old Master Mi had always said the flowers you tended grew exceptionally well. Apparently, that gift worked on medicinal herbs as well, so he wanted to keep you as his little herb grower. She gave a soft laugh and took your hand. Sweetheart, let us go home. Home is more comfortable, and I will recover faster there. You were easy to persuade. At her words, you immediately nodded your little head. Okay. Then let us go home, Annie. No. Elder Bai panicked. He immediately stopped you. He met Mi Li's knowing gaze. He clenched his teeth inwardly. That brat had figured it out after all. Elder Bai snorted and got straight to the point. Go on. What are your terms? Mi Li did not hold back. She raised her fingers and waved them. First, he gets paid. Second, Mi Li said, looking at you, help restore his health too. No bitter medicine. He has suffered enough already. Elder Bai cursed inwardly. What medicine is not bitter? Still, he liked the little boy, not to mention his miraculous gift for growing herbs, so he let it slide. After some thought, he said. I will prescribe some food-based remedies to nourish the boy. As he spoke, he took your pulse. The instant he touched your wrist, he frowned and immediately began scolding. Your spleen and stomach are weak. Your lung qi is deficient, and malnutrition, too. How are you people raising this child? If you cannot raise him, give him to me. Seeing that he truly cared about you, Mi Li did not argue with him. You gently tugged his sleeve and whispered, Grandpa, do not scold my Annie. It is not her fault. Annie has only just started taking care of me. You were timid, yet kept defending Mi Li. Elder Bai could not bring himself to scold her any further. He immediately had someone prepare medicinal meals and brewed medicine for Mi Li as well. He used only the bitterest herbs. You little brat, let us see if this does not make you suffer. Maybe then you will watch that sharp tongue of yours. But the bitter medicine did not trouble Mi Li. It made you shudder first. Your little face scrunched into a ball. Grandpa Bai, why is this medicine so bitter? Elder Bai smacked his forehead. Wait, why are you testing Mi Li's medicine for her? Mi Li was already used to drinking it. She lifted the bowl and downed it in one gulp. You watched from the side, your little face scrunching up even tighter, as though you were the one drinking it. Your heart ached for her. The moment Mi Li finished drinking, you immediately brought her water to rinse her mouth, then gave her some candy. You even unwrapped it for her. Elder Bai winced at the sight. He rewrote the prescription properly. That brat sure is lucky. Where did she find such a sweet, well-behaved little boy? He could not help asking aloud. Mi Li stroked your little chin, her lips curling into a smile. For the first time, she felt a little fondness for Elder Bai. She lifted her chin and said, he is one of a kind. Try finding one in your dreams. Elder Bai bristled at her smug look. He looked at you, and his old face instantly blossomed into a smile. He pitched his voice high, desperately trying to sound gentle. Xiao, would you like to be Grandpa's grandson? If you get sick in the future, Grandpa